Wootton's message line at 936-647-3776. Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Cindy Cochran Show. It is 2 o'clock, and we're live streaming. And so all of you out there that like streaming, I have never watched one show that was like a podcast or stream. I've never seen that before. Everything I've ever watched has been pre-recorded, I guess. And I will tell people, you can watch this live. I mean, if you want to see it. And they go like, I can never find it. So they're always complaining about that. I just wanted to let
Humanity's a lost cause. Don't worry about it.
They're my friends. That's why they don't know. But anyway, and we are sponsored by Chris. You'd almost call him Wolf. Chris Wolf. Chris Wootton
Financial Group.
Wootton Financial Group. And they've been around over 21 years, so they're doing something right. And he puts up with me. He's my financial advisor. I just love to say I have a financial advisor. And people say, of course,
Of course. You drink your tea with your pinky up.
Yeah. That's not true.
I will let the audience know that you're not a very good moviegoer person.
What do you mean?
I mean, you spilt your popcorn everywhere.
Oh,
You spilt your salt everywhere.
You kicked.
And you didn't know how to turn off your phone. And I was like, here, I'll turn off your phone.
Well, I know how to turn off the phone, but you turned it off like it went away.
Yeah, turn it off.
Okay. So this was so sweet. Richard invited me to go see Deadpool. And he knows how I am. Deadpool's like, I can't believe if I was a writer and all the words they wrote in that movie and got paid for saying all those dirty words. Oh my goodness. But I love that movie. I laughed so hard. And Richard says, okay, we're going to go to the movie and I'll get the tickets. I said, okay. And I said, are we getting popcorn? He said, I'm not buying you popcorn. It's in a date. I just told you that we're going to go to them. And I'll buy the tickets. It's not a date. I said, I know it's not a date, but I thought since you got the tickets that you were going to get the popcorn. And
no, all I wanted was coffee, and they didn't have that.
Ugh.
And then the only other option was beer, and it's like 10 a.m. I'm like, I can't be drinking beer right now.
We went to the Grand, and we kept saying we're at the Grand.
That's what the person said.
What?
I was like, hey, I was looking around. I was like, y'all used to have coffee over here, and then now it's the bar. That's where it used to be, and I was like, oh, so you're not serving coffee? Oh no, but if you want some beer, and I'm like, it's 10 a.m., dude. Like, what on earth? And then
that was so funny. But anyway, so he wouldn't go by the popcorn, and he was all antsy about, we got to get in the show. You don't want to miss 1 minute of this show. So he goes. I said, go ahead, go to the show, and I'll get the popcorn. And I got one of those big buckets of popcorn. And I have to get the popcorn salt, and I had to butter it. And buttering it takes
you had your drink.
A long time.
You had all the stuff.
And drink. Yeah. So I'm trying to walk in there, and it's so dark. I can see that it looked like it was him sitting in this one seat. So I'm trying to walk up the steps.
Oh, jeez.
And all I can do is lean against the railing because I couldn't hold on to the railing. So I'm
Well, you made me look like an idiot because I didn't help you, and I felt really bad because I was like, "Is that Cindy over there?" And then I was like, oh, and then when you tripped, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Wait a minute. See, you said I looked over there and I saw you start to come, but then I thought you went back, like you didn't want to admit that you saw me fall, and you just
I saw you, but
I laughed.
I laughed then I realized it was you. And I'm like, why is Cindy over there? Like, she knew we were going to be over here.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. And this guy gets up because I thought it was you that was sitting there. It was some guy, and he gets. He's like, I said, no, I'm okay. I just missed the step, and popcorn went all over the step.
Right when you sit next to me, I was like, I don't know this lady.
Yeah.
Why are you sitting next to me?
And he said, okay, now there's no talking through the movie. Don't be talking in the movie. But this movie is so great. It's so clever. It's so good. And I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, it was nice. It was fun.
Great.
It was
I
a fun
needed
movie.
that. Yeah, I knew that. That laugh. They really did good. It was excellent. And so I went home, made my grandson and granddaughter and my daughter go see it. And they just, I don't want to go to the show. I don't want to. When they came back, they went, that's the best show I have ever seen. I love that.
Yeah, it was fun, man. I enjoyed it. I didn't even see any good trailers, though. Did you notice that? I didn't really see any other movies.
No, to me, it's like, okay, now I've seen that because they put too much in the trailer.
I don't even remember what trailers there were, besides that really weird one with the trapped one. That looked interesting.
It looks interesting, but I think I'm going to wait and see it on the 75-inch screen that I have in my living room.
Well, what's funny about that premise is I wonder if people are going to have phobias of going to concerts.
Oh, yeah. Well, they should already because of the shootings and things like that.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
Go.
It's like it's a cool premise for a movie.
Yeah.
If people don't know, look it up. It's M. Night Shyamalan's new movie called Trapped. And
well, he hadn't been out in a long time.
Basically, the movie premise is Josh Hartnett takes his daughter to like a Taylor Swift type concert.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's a trap because he is a serial killer and like the FBI or something like knows. So they built this trap there for him at the concert. So he's trying to, I guess, you don't really know if he's trying to escape or like who knows what, or if they actually know it's him. They just know the killers are going to be there.
So the guy that goes to the bathroom, he tells her, I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's the guy that's a serial killer?
He's the serial killer.
Why would you just did a...
No, that's the premise of the movie. Like that.
I know, but that's like a spoiler alert.
No, it's not. That's the premise
of
the movie. If you look at the title and you look at it, it's like, you know he's the bad guy. But you don't know if the FBI knows it's him. They just know he's there.
Uh-huh.
So he's trying to like see how he can get out because they're not letting anyone leave. You know, they're checking everybody and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it looks interesting, but again, I don't understand how you can go to like an actual Taylor Swift concert and be like, is there a serial killer around here?
That's especially one like that. Yes, I'm so surprised that Trump has decided he's going to go back to
Speaking of
Pennsylvania.
serial killers.
I said, oh, shut up. So bad. Nobody's going to go back to the place where he got shot, and he's going to hold another rally, and it's going to be in honor of the guy that was killed.
Well, see what's weird about that? What's strange is
shooter,
you know the Secret Service is kind of like, hey man, we've been here before. Can't guarantee anything.
But every roof is going to have shooters
silly.
on it.
Andrew asked, did you learn any new words after watching Deadpool?
Oh, Andrew. There was one, when he was in the car with those kids and he's talking to those kids.
Yeah.
I was like, did he just say what I thought he said? Oh, my word. Now, that was probably the first time I've heard that in a movie, and sitting in a movie theater and going like, what did he just say? Yeah, he came up with some really different ways of saying bad words that I just, and it's always funny because whenever they start letting them say bad words, I remember the first time I sat there and heard the S word, and I was like, oh my goodness, he said it.
I thought you cursed when you fell. Well, you didn't really fall. You tripped.
You know what?
I heard it, and I was like, that's not Cindy. She wouldn't say something like that.
He said, you said the S word. I heard it. Way over here. I heard you say that. I did not say that. You're so bad.
What I love is how confused the people were about getting a spit cup for me. I felt like that was. I don't know if I'm an idiot or if they're the idiot or
maybe they thought you were trying to say another S word.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do in the Jesus. But you don't talk about. Remember that? I was like trying to talk to
Yes.
him, and then I was like, no, that's too small because they're trying to give me like a tiny little plastic cup that's like
Right.
for mouthwash.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, that's not gonna work. Like I need something a little bigger. And then they wanted to charge me like $10 for a cup. I was like, I just want a cup. Like I'm not gonna pour anything in it.
And who bought you a cup?
And, well, that's what I love is you were nice enough to buy the Wolverine cup for me.
And then you
But
could
that's a
pour your
souvenir.
drink in
That was a
that.
souvenir cup. I'm like, I can't spit in this. This is a
Yeah.
souvenir cup.
Right.
And I was like, this doesn't solve anything.
No, it did because you could pour your
Oh, then that's
drink
well,
that you got.
I still got a drink. I still paid
Yeah.
$8 for a spit cup, and I'm like, it was so funny because they were so confused. They're like,
Well,
what?
they didn't know. I mean, she really did not know what a spit cup
Yeah.
was.
You know, it's like, I don't know.
And so,
It was funny to me. I'm going to text Chris and be like, just to let you know, I'm sneaking in coffee next time because you don't have coffee, and I'm sneaking in my own spit cup. Because that's usually what I do is I get coffee and I drink the coffee and then I make that into a spit cup. So it's a little regimen I have, but they didn't have any coffee. So
no coffee, no spitting.
and those people brought in coffee from IHOP, and that guy let him walk through, and I'm like, I could have brought my own coffee.
Oh,
And I even asked him, I was like, so I can go down the street and get some coffee real quick, right? And he's like, no. I'm like, what about those people? Oh, they're throwing it away right now. Yeah, right.
I had 2 bottles of water in my purse because I was going to drink. I've started drinking water again. I think that's what's been wrong with me.
Yeah, you're not supposed to drink soda.
No, and I started drinking the water again, and I had more energy and I felt better. And I remember going back and you lose weight, you feel better every morning.
I drink water primarily. I don't feel great.
You don't?
No.
I'm not drinking the right water. I think. See, I paid how many, like so many thousands of dollars for a filtration system that is it's another spigot that comes out of your sink.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, my favorite is when people talk about soft water. You know, it's like, like I had my buddy stay with me, and we have soft water because I want to say I think we're not on we're on a well, and so you can do the soft water treatment to help the water because it's your well water. And he made a comment. I didn't tell him this. He's like, yeah, you got that soft water. It's weird. And I'll go, how do you even know that? And he's like, oh, my skin, like it reacts differently when you have a soft.
it's supposed to help eczema. That's what
I don't know. And I was like, this is all made up. I'll just jump in the pool. I don't care.
Well, when you wash your hair, it's like it just keeps making more suds.
I don't know. It's all.
It's anyway. It's funny how I'm talking to you about. We had a conversation. This is great about solar panels, and I just have to kind of warn the widows out there. When
You just like to
people
spend money. Let's be honest. It has nothing to do with solar panels. You're just like, ooh, that has zeros.
No, one of my really good friends, Phyllis, was talking to me about how much money she'd saved with solar panels. And so I thought, well, that's what I need. I need solar panels because there's so much electricity being used in that house. And so I thought, okay. So the guy comes over from the welcome wagon lady had said, are you interested in Generac? Are you interested in solar panels? And I said, oh, yeah. So send those people over, and I want to talk to them about it. And but they're so slick. They're just slick.
I guess they are.
And they have you.
Well, they have to be.
They have you docu-signing way before you. It was like buying a house. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Here's now. Just put your initials there.
Well, that's when you buy something. Sometimes you have to sign a document.
I
I don't really get it, but
Well, what I found out though is I got 10 days to get out of it. They said you can
get out of it.
and that's what I'm hoping for. Please, because my kids and everybody else and my financial advisor Cindy.
Yeah,
why?
I had to tell Cindy, I was like, whenever you're spending more than $20, you got to call Chris.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, he'd love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every
he
time.
would love that.
Yeah.
That
I'm
would
buying
be-
a $10 spit cup.
Yeah, that was pretty bougie of you.
God, I still can't get over that. It's so funny. But I had a good time watching the movie. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go back to the theater in a long time now. I kind of want to see Twisters, but I I feel like that's already passed.
Is it a remake of
Yeah.
the other Twister?
I don't know if it's a sequel or whatever, but
Okay, well, I'm sure their effects are really
yeah.
great. Because when I went to Universal,
No, you love this. You know those D-Box?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
So I was watching stuff online, and they were like, "Oh, you got to see this movie in D-Box," and they showed like the audience in the movie, and what I love is like everyone's face was so uncomfortable because they're shaking so much. And apparently there's like a higher version of D-Box where like they'll throw water on you and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, why would I want to sit in that? And they're like, you see them like, they even show the water bottle, and the water bottle was just going everywhere. I'm like, that sounds like an unpleasant experience.
I know. The first time
Like getting water on your
I went and saw Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad with my kids, and that was horrible. I mean, it was so annoying.
I mean, it's just so funny to me. It's like, you see it, and they show that water bottle just going crazy. I'm like, I don't want to be shaking that much, because I feel like the whole movie you'd be shaking because it's
Right.
the twisters.
Yeah.
Right?
And so the whole thing's about that. I'm so glad you told me that. I'm so glad you told me that.
Oh, I would love to see you do that.
You would?
Yeah, I think. Oh man,
I go like,
that's so
okay.
stupid.
Okay, now I gotta get up and go to the restroom.
I already went. Just got shaken out of me. You been watching the Olympics?
I need to speak. Oh man! Now you know that the controversy of that
I don't.
opening
Well, I'm not.
ceremony.
I'm talking about the sports part. Was you watching the sports part?
I don't want to watch. I hate to even do anything to support it because
No.
I think
Is that because you have morals?
that's terrible.
Who cares?
Richard, you should care. And do you see how many people showed up to protest it? Good grief! You think that Palestine Gaza Strip thing, when they protest that, it was amazing.
Whatever. They're still doing the sports. I haven't really watched. I watched a little gymnastics, and then
Did you see Simone?
yeah, I watched that and then tennis, but then I got quickly bored. I was like, this isn't like I don't care.
I don't like those kind, like the basketball players or that.
Yeah.
That.
I don't know. It's just not as exciting. Actually, what pissed me off is the way they wouldn't let you watch it. It'd be like, oh, here's Simone Biles. And I'm like, there's people jumping in the background. Like, why aren't we watching that? And like, they're just talking about Simone Biles. And I was sitting there going like, I just want to watch these people do stuff.
Yes.
Like they had this one camera shot that was the judo, but it was they were filming the TV in the arena. And then you see this little speck to the bottom right of them actually fighting. And I go, why aren't we watching that? And like they're the only ones in this giant place doing something.
You
And
can't zoom in on that. But
it
that
was
guy
so weird.
on the I don't know what kind of board it is. One that he was holding on swings around. I don't know what it's called.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about the horseshoe or horse. Something.
Yeah, and they won the bronze.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was so. I loved seeing that. That was enough. Okay.
Like
so,
I would be totally down to watch it if it was all like you get to choose
wouldn't that be
like a camera
yeah.
and just leave it there and no one talks to me. We can watch them play baseball or watch
Yeah.
them do this.
Right.
I much prefer that than
Well, see, whenever I was at Time Warner, I thought listening to them lay out the future for cable because of how many channels that they could have, that they could do something like that where you could choose, like, if you want to watch swimming,
Yeah.
you click on swimming. If you want to watch, you click on that. That was going to come eventually. But see, streaming came along. It's funny, like, what plans people had for, social media and all that. And when streaming came along, that's everything. When you watching TV, streaming is, if that's all you watch is just the streaming
yeah.
movies. And it's, like,
There's live
what's
stuff too.
happened?
There's live streams.
Well, I mean, like, we're being live streamed right now, right? Okay. And it's on Facebook.
Yeah, and YouTube.
Lone Star
Yeah.
Community Radio Facebook.
Thank you. I'm so glad you're remembering. Yeah.
and Chris Wootton Financial
Yeah,
Group.
there we go.
Okay.
Her name is Cindy. The Cindy
Okay.
Cochran Show.
That Prevagen is working.
But no, I really wanted to watch like the rock climbing because that looked really interesting. And then I didn't watch. We watched some of the swimming, and it's kind of amazing how some of those dudes are so much better than the other people. Mm-hmm. But they're all top athletes. It's like when I watched that French guy just smoke them, like by like 4 body lengths, and I was like, that guy, like, how does that feel if you're in 5th place? Like,
Was it really a girl?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
He looked French to me.
Okay. He looked.
So, but it was just like,
He looked French.
can you imagine being that 5th place guy at the Olympics and you got toasted like that? I'm like, ugh.
Poor things.
Yeah.
And they work so hard.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I go, how does that even work in that kind of race? Like, how can you be so far ahead?
Yeah. Now, I like to watch the swimming and the butterfly and all the different ones that they did. Do they still do that? Do they still do like, okay,
Oh, yeah.
this is going to be the backstroke.
Yeah.
This is going to be the butterfly. That was really cool. I liked watching that stuff. But what is the weirdest event that they have?
Probably breakdancing.
They do not.
They have breakdancing.
No, they don't.
I promise you, they have breakdancing. Yeah,
I'm gonna look it
That's
up.
going to be the weirdest one, I guess.
They have breakdancing as part of
Yeah.
Olympic sport. When I had talked, I think I told you that I had to do a commercial with Mary Lou Retton, and I told her about, you guys come to that, the village, and all of you speak different languages. How do y'all do that? And so she was telling me, and I said, I ought to write. I did a book for underwater underwater people. You swim underwater, and no, wait, it's coming to me. Wait, for people who like to scuba dive. Okay, see, I got it. Scuba diving, and I did a book for them so that they could. It was all one-handed sign language. And so, because they usually had to carry a tank or something, they were always carrying something. So, this teacher said, if you could do one with one hand, it would be perfect. So I did. I did enough language so they could talk underwater, and they didn't have to come up, for air and that kind of stuff. So it was really fun. And the Chronicle even did a story on it, and it was so much fun. And the lady, they went out, everybody that had graduated with this book and me teaching this class, they went out and did a trip, and they wanted to know if I wanted to go underwater, and I went, no. Oh, no, I would never go underwater. Wait, you just did all this stuff. I thought that you were a scuba diver too. No, I go in about 3 feet of water, and that's about it. And so, but it was so much fun to do that. And so I told her about that, and I said, do you think that could go over if we did something like that for the athletes coming in, and they got a copy of a book where they could learn signs, and all the signs would be the same, for water. This is water, but this agua but it's water. And so she said, that would be so cool. So she hooked me up with the guy that does the communications for the Olympics that was coming up. And so he came over to Warner when I was working there, and he sat and talked to me about it and how it could happen. And so he says, if you could get the book together, we'll see if we can make this work. In the time that I started working on it, and I was just about finished with it, he calls me and he says, they have got now. It was like the telecommunications had just went crazy, and so they had translators on their phones so that somebody could go da, 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 and then show it to them what they meant, and that they didn't need me.
Story of your life. That was a great story. I think that's how you should shorten it, to say they just didn't need me.
I got toned down. It's okay though, because it was just fun thinking about. Imagine what it would be like to have that happen. That would be so good.
Well, no one really cares about sign language. Let's be real.
Okay. So anyway, back to the controversy of the Lord's Supper at the Olympics.
Oh, you like that?
Oh,
you just
my
you just like
goodness.
being mad, don't you?
No, I that was just so stupid.
I mean, who cares?
I just.
I mean, they had a
mean-
heavy metal band playing. Like they're doing whatever they want. Like just let them do whatever they want.
But they just took the dignity and all the of the Olympics. And it not being a family, because imagine the kids turning to their parents saying,
Think of the children.
What are they
Why are you
doing?
always using children as shields for your
because the children
points? And
they want to watch this and how long these people worked and how athletic they were and how they have just perfected their skill, and this is such an inspiring thing to watch, and then they do that. I just didn't. I thought that was inappropriate for that venue. And then they had to apologize and say, that's not what we meant. We were trying to show this other ridiculous thing. And so it had nothing to do with the Lord's Supper, they said. It was nothing. And, and you look at it, and it's just, that's the first thing you think of with the halo and all this stuff, that they're just mocking the
I have
Lord's
no idea
Supper.
when I saw it, I was like, this is just wild.
And,
Especially that guy on a plate.
yeah.
That was a little weird.
And I understand that would confuse people about it being the Lord's Supper, but maybe he was for supper. I mean,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
they're going to do.
He was
so.
blue though.
He was blue, yeah.
He was painted blue, like in the Blue Man Group. I was like, what?
Yeah.
But what's funny to me about that is everyone always talks about the opening ceremonies and things. I was like, can you just not keep it simple? Where like they introduce all the nations and the athletes, and we have fun with that. But then it's like, if you watch this one, I felt like they were all over the town of Paris,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is a lot going on. Like, that's
I don't understand what, Andrew, maybe you know this. What was Steven Spielberg talking about when he said, you're getting ready to see something that you've never seen at the Olympics before? Just the opening ceremony will be spectacular.
did he direct it?
Well, that's what it looks like he did. And I thought, are they doing a documentary and that's what's going to happen? But he acted like it was like what you see live is going to be something you've never seen
Saying that
before.
he is part of the commercials promoting the Olympics, and he's also a narrator for the shorts that they'll play. I guess. I don't know.
Oh, he didn't direct the Lord's Supper.
No, I don't
did
think
he?
he did any of that. I think he just narrates. He just does the narrating for the short stories that they have of the athletes and things like that.
Ah, okay. Well, it was exciting. I thought,
Did you see that there's a guy from like the Netherlands or something? He was a convicted, I guess, pedophile. I don't really know. I think he did something really bad, but he served his time, and now he's doing some sport. I don't know if it was volleyball or whatever, but everyone was like booing him. And I was sitting there, I was like thinking, it's like, that's got to be kind of wild, right? Like everyone knows that you did something bad. And so it's like, but you chose to go to the Olympics because you're really good at whatever it is. And then you're just going to get booed.
What country was he from?
I think the Netherlands.
Okay.
I
So
think,
it's like everybody didn't know why they were booing, right?
no, I think that was one of the stories. Like everyone, like it spread like wildfire because they were like,
okay.
why are you allowing this guy to be on a team? And it wasn't like he was still in jail and they let him out for like the games. It's like, no, he got out of jail. He's done. He served his time. He's still a bad dude, though. So bad. But it's just
that's
fine.
wild.
It's kind of wild to me. I was like, yeah, you're getting booed, and people are just yelling. They hate you.
Poor people on. What was he? You don't know what he was playing.
I
you
think
can't remember.
if I remember correctly, he was like 18, and he had a girlfriend that was like 13 or something like that.
Oh. Well.
So I don't know like the truth to it. I just know he got enough to where he went to jail.
When did that change? That like a long time ago, young girls.
It's probably when the suffrage movement happened. if I had to guess.
When the what
The
happened?
suffrage for women's rights.
You think that was it?
I think that's when everyone kind of like, oh, they're not property. Maybe
Yeah, but-
maybe we shouldn't be allowing our 13-year-olds to marry off. We can't marry them off.
Well, because they used to pledge they would pledge, my daughter's going to marry your son
Yeah.
whenever they grow up.
Arranged marriages. They still
Yeah.
do that. Certain countries do.
I went up to this lady had just had a baby at church, and not at church. She didn't have a baby at church, but anyway, she is standing there with the baby, beautiful blonde-headed, blue-eyed little. And I asked her, I said, "Look, do you think it'd be okay if we could just arrange a marriage now between her and Samuel? It'd just be real so easy to know
Yeah.
who's going to marry."
I mean, it also depends on who you're talking to. Like, I want to see the money.
She said,
That's why.
No,
That's
I don't
why
think so.
I have a lot of respect for the Jewish community, because the way they regard marriage is such a business transaction. Because there's even, if I don't know what it's called, but the male is supposed to talk to the father of the wife, and there's like a pledge or like a postnup where he puts down the value of his new wife. Basically, if he does anything wrong or if he whatever, he has to pay the family this. And it's like a legit thing.
yeah.
It's a legit thing. And I'm sitting and like I forgot what I was listening to, and he's like a rich dude, and he's like, yeah, $10 million. That's what he valued his new wife,
Well,
the
see-
guy's daughter. It's
see,
like,
this is one of the controversy that Jesus brought along, because he
didn't know what he was doing. He was drunk half the time.
No, he revered women. He did not want them to be treated like animals. Like, okay,
yeah, but sometimes it's
you want me to-
easier.
you can have my daughter and my cow if you let me have.
Yeah.
They just weren't treated as they should have been treated, and so Jesus came along and changed that attitude and told them,
I guess.
that the woman should be revered and put her on a pedestal. I kept trying to put her on a pedestal in the Bible. I couldn't find it.
It's
Somebody
not there.
somebody
It's not
said
there. They
that.
probably made it up and translated it incorrectly. And then, oh, he didn't mean pedestal. He mean the basement
Shut up.
in the kitchen. That's what he meant.
Where's that? I need that recording. Shut up, Richard.
That'd be great.
I kept waiting for I can't remember his name. It was our intern.
Yeah, Jake.
Jake. Jake the form. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Jake was going to find that recording and make me a recording so that I could just
Push a
push the
button,
button on
yeah.
my computer and say, "Shut up, Richard."
So it sucks you're not watching the Olympics anymore, though.
No. I watch Fox News.
I know.
And well, it's so interesting. I mean, I'm trying to find out when everybody's going to figure out what Kamala's all about. It's going to be a long road. But
Are they going to do a debate?
Trump said, I'll debate her. That's fine. But I don't think she's not the nominee yet. She's not the,
Oh, they haven't had the convention yet?
right. They haven't had the convention yet. When they have the convention, she's a nominee. Yeah, but they need to have the debate before the early voting starts, because that's what's so stupid is that they do early voting and then he had that debate with Trump. What I'm wondering is people have been doing early voting, and is that nullified because he's
I don't know how it works.
all those people that
I don't
voted?
know. I feel like they're just making stuff up as they go.
Oh,
with this whole thing.
definitely. Oh, I think
So
so too.
I don't really know. Because
I think so too. That's why you have to keep watching the news. You never know what's going to happen. They have alerts all the time.
when's the Democratic convention? It's got to be soon.
Is this next week? I think.
It's
I think
next
it's
week?
Next week, yeah.
How about that's going to be a
it.
zoo?
It's going to be very.
It's gonna be a zoo.
How fun will that be? That will be awesome. And she hasn't picked her VP yet.
I don't. I think it'd be hilarious if Donald Trump hangs out there.
If he just
Because
goes and
everyone,
sits to the
everyone
front
hates
row.
him. He's gonna be joining that Netherlands guy. It's like everyone just hates me.
That would. Yeah, I think I would do
I
that
think that'd
too.
be pretty funny.
Yeah, that would be
That'd be
pretty
pretty
funny. And you sit there and just clap.
He's like, I'm a registered Democrat. I'm allowed to be here.
Don't allow them in. It's so sad because when you listen to Biden talk, and he's still trying to talk, and like he's got this. I got this. What we're going to do is we're going to reform the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I like
gonna
it.
Do this.
No one's above the law. I think that's what
except my son.
Well, no. I think he literally was calling the amendment, no one's above the law. I think that's what he said. I was like, wait, is it an amendment or is it a law? Like,
no, the worst is when he's reading the teleprompter and he goes, and so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Pause.
End quote.
No, he goes.
No, he says end quote. You know how many times he said end quote?
No, I didn't see that.
You ever seen him say that?
No.
It's happened at least twice where he goes end quote.
But he's supposed to look at the word pause, and it wasn't for him to say. It was just pause, dramatic pause. Now let's go on with the thing.
I like it.
Well, anyway,
he's a good actor.
Yeah. I would think he would be so happy to get out of that mess.
I don't know. I mean, he hasn't gone to the convention yet.
Oh, that's going to be and
because like when I saw, I didn't realize like the Republican convention was so long.
It was so long?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Because like when I saw Hulk Hogan, I saw the pictures, I was like, this has got to be a joke. Like, I thought this thing was over a week ago, and they're still doing it. They're still having people. Like, they're just getting everyone who wants to speak. Like, and then that's when I read or was having a discussion with a buddy. And I was like, it's 4 days? That's going to be so bad. That has to be torture to be there for 4 days and listen to that crap.
Oh,
that's got
but they loved it. They had so much fun.
Yeah, but it's like the same thing over. It's like giving yourself a pat on the back. It's like, I could understand if day one was like, hey, these are our policy goals. And they're like actually written policy things, and the press can ask questions. Yeah. Totally get it. And then like the next day, it's the top people, like Trump and whoever's the top Republican. You can have like I'll give you 1 day to pump up everybody.
Yeah.
But 4 days, it's like you're just trying to write something off so you can have a party.
All conventions are 4 days. They start
really?
on Monday and end on Thursday. And they start closing up all the venues and stuff.
That's so boring. That'd be so terrible to go to.
No, there was no skin in the game for you. You didn't care about any of it. You just wanted to see what his bandage looked like on his ear.
No, I think I would rather hear I love what people, especially both political aisles, like try to ask what are the problems in today's world. They're not very good about explaining that.
No, or what they're going to do about it.
About what though? No one really knows.
Well, they don't know what's coming.
Like people are like the economy. I'm like, okay, like what's going on with the economy? What's going on?
Well, I could ask
women's rights.
Women's rights. Women have plenty of rights.
I don't know.
They do.
I mean, are they in the Bill of Rights?
Are they in the Bill of Rights? I don't know what pronoun they use. I don't know. But if But
I just like it when they talk about, like, especially when anyone says it's a threat to democracy. I love that stuff.
Man.
I'm like, oh man, here we go.
What's the big word they used before that? Existential threat to democracy.
I don't know.
They use one to
I'm just waiting for the pitchforks and torches. Yeah. That's what I need. I want to see that.
Yeah, if that's you really don't know I think the Democrats are pretty pressured now, of how they're doing this, and it makes a lot of people mad because the way that
there's no substance.
There was no primary, there was no debates, there's nothing, and just going to take everybody's word for it, and then if this was the Republicans doing it, can you imagine what the Democrats would be?
I don't really care about that.
They'd be going crazy, absolutely crazy.
I guess I'll watch the Democratic convention then, just so I can see.
Oh, I definitely.
Because if Hulk Hogan's at the Republican, they're going to have a wrestler too.
Yeah.
So who are they going to have?
Yeah, who would they pick as their?
I don't know. Probably that blue guy from the Olympics.
Yeah, they introduce him, or the lady with the halo.
I like it. That's so funny.
Come save us
They're
all.
French. They can act that way.
Well, they didn't do anything to dispel what the French kind of represented. Because nobody wanted to go to France because of how mean they were to the Americans. They just didn't like Americans. I mean, during the 60s, the talk about going to France, nobody would do that because they were just so mean to them.
Why were they so mean to Americans?
They didn't like them. They didn't like Americans. They didn't like because
I think. Oh, you know what it was? They really enjoyed being occupied by Nazis.
yeah,
And American
Americans
and the
came in
British,
and
and
tried-
we helped. We thought we were liberating them, but they're like, no, we want to be Nazis.
yeah. They think we're holding it over their head.
Yeah.
Most everybody's forgotten about that
Yeah.
by now, so it's okay. They shouldn't do that. So
So that's I wish that's when I would meet a lady.
what?
When you're going into like you're in an occupied area and saving them. All the women love you. It's like these people saved us. I bet those GI soldiers had some fun.
Yeah, that was a
How
chick
many
magnet
babies were
thing to do.
made?
Yeah, and how many women they tried to take back to America with them?
See, that's what's so wild to me, because there had to have been like a talk with like the generals, like, hey, this is bad. Like we're gonna have all these babies, and we're like, we can't let our soldiers just go out and do this kind of stuff because
Right.
like we have to rebuild this country, not just take over it with our babies.
But just think of all the votes.
Yeah, no, that's still amazing to me. I like that.
I can't wait to hear.
Because there had to have been like actual education for those soldiers. Like, don't do this.
Oh yeah. Oh, they did.
They had to.
Yeah.
They had to be.
This is the protocol that they had when you go into a different land that
Yeah.
you had to follow, but when those trucks came driving through and all the girls were out there waving as the guys
Yeah.
were on the trucks, I wasn't one of them though. I was too little. I was just born.
And and what I love about those scenarios is you don't know anything about their language, and that's when people really spoke their language. Like it wasn't as common as today that they might know some English.
Right.
So there's
No,
there's definitely a language barrier during that time.
Oh man, yeah. The deaf would say that we can go to any country, anyone, and get along better than the hearing people can. And I said, why? And they said, because the language that when we sign, we draw a picture. And I said, that's how they talk with their hands. And they go, I think this is what we should do. But they, and I never thought about that. And I just kept thinking, that's really true.
Well, that's because deaf people think they're elitist. They think they're better.
Yeah, they look down on me. No, they don't. But they don't. What I couldn't get over was how many deaf people I would talk to and say, if they had an operation that could make you hear, would you want to do that? Because they were talking about the one that the implant, the cochlear implant. And they would say, no, that would take me out of my world. This is my world. I love these people, and no, we get along fine. We don't have to.
Yeah,
have that.
right. They would take it if it worked.
But what?
That's kind of like that. What do you call it? The chip that Elon Musk wants to put in us, Neuralink.
Yeah. Do you want that? That would be.
I think it's already in some people, but I think it's like special cases where they're paraplegic or quadriplegic or something like that, where they literally have no function but their brain.
That's seeing this guy walk for his wedding. He was able to get up and walk because this contraption that they
Lieutenant
had.
Dan,
He was able to walk.
You got magic legs.
I know it was so.
That's
you
right.
would cry.
You got magic legs.
Listen, speaking of that, the Bitcoin thing has really gotten.
Oh, you got.
seems to be popular.
Speaking of getting scammed with Cindy, I bought a bunch of Bitcoin.
No, remember when Chris sat across there and talked
Yeah.
about? He says, I'm not saying you should go out and buy. I'm just saying that it's coming, and I don't think there's anything we can do to stop it. I think it's going to happen. So I'm dying to hear now what he what he says about, because Trump went and talked to that group of Bitcoin people, and was talking about what he would do to help, support that. So I don't understand it I don't understand Bitcoin at all. But what is it? Something that it's all coin. It's not paper, and it's not.
It's digital.
It's digital.
It's not physical.
So you never touch.
You don't have a
anything.
physical coin.
So it's not like the treasure. We have the gold standard, and that's what they.
Well, we don't
make
have a
paper
gold.
money
We don't
off of.
have a gold standard anymore.
No, but we used to, and that's when they printed money.
Yeah,
that we
I
thought we had. Okay, so is there anything like that, or is it? It's all.
From what I understand, basically what it is the coin has a value, and you can buy like tenths of a coin. You can buy like little fractions of a coin
With what?
with real money.
Okay, so you're
And
buying this with real
money, and then the coin, just like the stock market, can have more value or not. So, like if you bought one coin for $15, today's value is like $58. So it's just like buying stocks cheap, and then you hold on to it, but the main benefit of Bitcoin is the digital transfer of it, where it's not regulated by a bank. It's not like you can use it to do whatever you want with. And it kind of like restructures the whole system, because the value of what bartering is, like, it's the value. So what do you value this service or this thing? And it's like, oh, it's 18th of a Bitcoin for a pizza or whatever.
I did a video for a barter company that was just getting started. That was the most interesting thing, because they said this is old. I mean,
Like right now, one Bitcoin is worth $65,000.
one Bitcoin.
Yeah,
55
if I'm reading that correctly, yeah. If I'm reading that correct, yeah.
$55,000.
But like it also, the main use back in the day was you didn't have to pay transfer fees. You didn't have, like, if I wanted to buy something from France, like say I want to buy that new painting, that Last Supper picture of those great French people, like I could go and just pay it with Bitcoin, and I didn't have to like transfer redo the money in francs or whatever they got over there. It's just Bitcoin. There you go. So that's why people really like it. But to me, I think it's just like they like it because you could buy drugs with it. And there's no paper trail.
Well, it still is confusing, but they're trying to make it. Will it simplify everything?
It could, but the thing is that the thing about it is there's no regulation of it. So if someone figures out the technology and knows how to break it, then that's not very secure, is it? Like,
No.
say you have all your money in Bitcoin and some dude like rips it off and somehow knows how to copy it. So you're kind of like, is this money even have any value? Like, he can drop the value significantly, and it's like you're ruined. I don't truly get. I have several friends that love this kind of stuff, but then I always make fun of it. Like, what are you going to buy with it? Because if I have millions of dollars in Bitcoin, realistically, what you're going to do is trade that Bitcoin for real cash. Like, you're going through another step that you already started with. So it's like, now this is just a game. It's just like one of the stock market. That's the way I saw it. Like, this is just a stock market game. Now, if they started selling specific things with Bitcoin, like, oh, you can only buy movie tickets or, that kind of thing, I totally get it, because I would have a daily flow of Bitcoin on me because I use it every day for things. But I don't know anyone that uses it for daily things. You don't pay for gas for it.
It's not an economy booster.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's no point of having it unless you just like showing people that you have it.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Well, I wanted to talk to him about that, because he said the digital thing is coming, and you're going to have to.
Well, that's definitely coming, but it's also one of those. It's kind of a scary thing. I want to say it was 6 years ago, where the IRS, they had that new rule because people were making money using the transfer services like Venmo and everything like that. And so basically there wasn't a rule, like Venmo didn't have to tell anybody how much money you're transferring. But now it's like if your account receives over $600 in a year, then you have to like mark what it is. because people weren't paying taxes on certain things.
Oh, I remember.
So,
them
but
talking
now
about
I
that,
want to
yeah.
say now it's required. Like the United States government requires Venmo to do this to you because so many people were paying rent or doing this, and
People just can't keep their mouths shut if they could just do things like.
I wonder,
but,
yeah.
You know, the bartering.
The same thing with
bartering
Bitcoin.
system,
Like no one regulates Bitcoin, so people want to.
If you finish your sentence, the bartering system is so interesting though
Yeah.
because of what you're. I mean, you see, this is what you value it at, and then if that other person agrees with it, then they'll trade.
But money laundering's a big thing with it.
It is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, interesting. I'd love to have somebody on to talk about.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, if people are into it, I get it. Like, if you want to buy a person, you probably use Bitcoin.
Well, no, it's just it's like the bartering part was
Want to
never.
buy some
you
drugs?
don't use any
Use
money.
Bitcoin.
There's no money exchange. So
Now you can exchange. I mean, certain banks will let you exchange your Bitcoin out for cash.
no, I'm talking about bartering. I'm talking about like here this water
Yeah.
if you give me that, and there's no money exchanged. So
I mean, you can still do that.
and then you wouldn't pay taxes on it.
Probably not. It just depends on what paperwork is required for that ownership of the thing.
Okay, my sister, the CPA.
So, like, I imagine a car, you have to do a special thing with a car and a title. So that might require something like a bill of sale, and it has
Yeah.
to have a value on that bill of sale. With that bill of sale proves that you bought this car so you can get the title transferred.
Right.
But if you're like, oh, I just want to buy this house and don't fill out any paperwork, just live here. Mm-hmm. And not tell anybody. But then, like, the bills come.
And you be a squatter.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm
they
saying. I
do.
don't really.
But Carolyn is coming Friday.
Oh,
She's
yeah?
going to be here Friday. And she's going to teach me how to do taxes. Now, what do you think is the first thing she's going to ask if I have?
Receipts.
I don't do receipts.
I don't do receipts either.
I tried so hard to do receipts, and I couldn't do it.
I do the receipts here. I do like everything here for the station. But like personally, I'm like I remember they're like, oh, you can log your miles. And I'm like, I don't really care.
Right.
Like you're talking not that much money for me. Like that's too much. You're asking too much.
Isn't aren't my receipts on this?
You could I mean,
my
realistically,
bank
you could
is-
probably go through your bank and they could print stuff out for you. And
Yeah.
because I know depending on your bank, you can definitely. But you also have to mark everything. You have to say like, oh, what was this receipt for? Was it for business expense? Was it that kind of stuff. But
Well, when I first started,
you probably won't even remember.
no, that's right. When I first started doing the bills
Oh God.
after Sam left
Yeah.
me,
See, you're gonna have a fun time with that, especially when you got an auto payment.
Oh yeah. I just don't know I just don't want it to break up our sisterhood and our friendship
No, you'll be
and
fine.
family.
We gotta get
because-
going though.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. Anyway, so tomorrow, have you got a guest for me? Does that mean I'm not going to be here?
If you don't want to be,
Well, do you want me to come back and let's talk?
I don't care.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna be here, so I don't care.
Okay. That is your MO, IDC. I don't care. Okay. So anyway, have a great day. Enjoy your day. Call somebody you love. And you first responders, we respect you. We think that you're wonderful and you're great. Thank you for being so brave and taking care of us and trying to keep us safe. Thank you. All right. See ya. Hopefully.
Every week, people ask the same two questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these two questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, one-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process of helping their clients to a clearer financial future, And to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran Show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wootton Financial Group, or any of their representatives.